Hi guys, it's Nick. Okay, today I thought I'd try and put together a relatively short video all about buying stock at car boot sales and give you a few hints and tips on things you can do to improve your chances to find good quality items and items in volume at car boot sales, because we're starting to get into the boot sale season. It's still only February, so I'm not actively going out yet, but you get into March, April, and the boot sales will start building, and as the weather improves, and more people will be going out selling their stuff. So I thought it was a good time to put together this video. I did do a very similar video when I started making videos, but I watched it back recently, and it's an awful video. The sound and the visual quality is really poor, so I thought it was one that needed refreshing anyway. So yeah, that's my plan. So the first tip about going car boot sailing, if your mission is to find stuff to resell, it's an obvious one, and it should have occurred to you already, and that is to get to the car boot sale as early as you possibly can. If the car boot sale lets you in while people are setting up, that's when you need to be there. If it's a car boot sale that is fenced in and they charge you to go in early, just queue up and pay the money. If you're taking this seriously and you want to find a lot of high value stuff that you can resell for profit, you need to pay that fee to get in early, because that's what the other dealers will do, and they will be in there early and they will go around and hoover up all the good stuff. And if you go in, and let's say an hour later, yeah, you will still find a few bits, but the difference between what you will find later on, once all the dealers have been round, and what you would have been able to see and buy if you'd have got in early, if you'd have paid for early entry, it's like night and day. I go to some boot sales where they charge up to £3 to get in early, and it's well worth the money. I've never been disappointed paying to go in early. Obviously, if you turn up at car boot sale and the weather's bad and there's only a handful of stalls in there, it's probably not going to be worth paying a lot of money to get in early. So, use your judgment. But on the whole, paying a fee to go in early is well worth doing as a reseller. So yeah, that's the obvious one, is to get there as early as possible. And then let's say you get to a car boot sale and you don't get there as the first cars are coming in, and there's a few rows of sellers set up. The first ones have been set up for a while, but cars are still coming in and going round to the back of the field, and they're setting up new rows. Go straight for the stalls that are just setting up. Your mission needs to be at a car boot sale to get yourself in front of as many stalls as early as possible, as in that have only been set up for a few minutes, because you want to be the first person to go through this stuff. You want to be the first person to look at these sellers' items and to pick out the stuff that has good resale value. You need to understand that you will not be the only person at a car boot sale trying to find stuff that has good resale value. If it's anything like the area where I am, there will be teams of dealers going around. There will be faces that you will see on a weekly basis who are doing exactly the same as you and I do. And that is to go round with a head full of items that you're looking for, that you know you can make money on. And these other people will be looking for perhaps not all of the same items that you're looking for, but many of them. They will be looking for exactly the same things. So it is really, the competition is rife, and you need to give yourself as many advantages as you can, and getting to be the first person in front of that stuff as it comes out of the car is the obvious one. So that's the big tip, really, to get yourself in front of as many stalls as early as possible. But then there's a few tips about buying from car boot sale stalls. One fairly obvious one, but it really works, is let's say you're at a stall and you see a vintage computer game and think, oh, I know that's worth a tenner. How much is this? And they say £2, and you just buy it. And then they've got some board games. Oh, how much is this one? That's £1. Oh, hey, here's £1. I wouldn't buy things sort of sequentially like that. The best thing to do is go to a stall, see an item you like, pick it up. See another item you like, pick it up. Get a pile going. Seriously, go through all of their computer games, go through all of their DVDs, make a little pile, go through all their CDs, pick out the ones that are worth some money, add them. Go through the board games, add those to the pile. Go through their clothing, go through their books, go through their whatever it is. Once you have a pile, you have some real sort of leverage to negotiate, because they realise you might potentially buy all of this. And that's the other thing. Don't say, I'm going to buy all of this. Say to them, what's the best price you could do if I bought all of this? So leave yourself a little bit of leverage. Say, I'm interested in buying everything that's here. What's your best price? Come out with something like that. And then instantly they're thinking, oh, he's not sure he wants to buy all of that. But they are there to get rid of their stuff, and that they're going to want you to buy it all. Whereas if you just buy each item individually, you're not going to have much negotiation sort of room for that. So bundling up your stuff and then negotiating on the one big deal gives you much better discounts. And the other thing is, don't be afraid to make a really lowball offer. You know, you're probably never going to see that person again. You're not really going to offend them. And if a really lowball offer does offend them, and you can see in their face that they're shocked that you've offered a £5 for the thing they want 30 quid for, you just say, oh, I'm sorry, I'm just, just trying. There's no harm in trying, and just smile and be pleasant with them, But yeah, I've been amazed over the years at the lowball offers that people just accept. What you've got to understand is that car boot sales, people are there because they want to get rid of stuff. And quite often they really undervalue the stuff they have. And that's why car boot sales are the perfect place to go as a reseller to buy stuff. Because A, people are in that mindset of, I've got this car full of stuff and I don't want to take it home again. I've heard people say those very words. I don't want to take any of this crap home. Let's take any offer you get, and that sort of thing. If you hear people say that, it's like alarm bells go off. So yeah, boot sales are perfect places to pick up stuff, because what I was saying was, people undervalue their stuff. They don't know the true value of their stuff, and that's where we come in, because we buy stuff at less than it's worth to resell. So anyway, I started waffling. What else was I going to say? Yeah, a great tip is, when you're at a stall, if there's lots of dealers around you and there's a pile of, let's say, retro games again, which all the dealers know about, there's lots of value in them, so there's a lot of competition over it. Let's say there's a pile of PS1 on PS2 games, or N64, whatever it is. I tend to grab the whole pile, lay it in my arm, or if it's in a box, pick up the whole box. And then you've got the joy of time. Time is on your side now, because there's an unwritten rule at car boot sales. If it's in your hand, it's yours until you choose to put it back down, and then somebody else can have it. So whilst it's in your hand, you can take your time and go through it, put down the ones you don't want, and then make an offer on everything you do want, or look up a few items on your phone whilst you've got it in your hand. And yeah, that's a really good one to stop people leaning in and pulling things out from the stall in front of you whilst you're trying to go through it. Get it in your hand, and then people can't sort of steal it from under your nose, if you like, or buy it out from under your nose. And I just mentioned looking things up on your phone. Since smartphones have come along, they've kind of changed the game, really, and we now have the power of the internet in our pockets at car boot sales. And if you find an item you're unsure of, you can just look it up and check what the going rate is on eBay. I do look up a lot of items whilst I'm at the stall with the item in my hand. And if you feel uncomfortable doing that, you can pretend you're texting your wife, is an easy one. Or just say, do you mind if I just text a friend, because I think this is what he's looking for. Just make something up if you feel you have to, if it makes you feel less stressed about looking things up on eBay while you're buying them. The other easy way to get around that is to say to somebody, can you put these in your car and hold them for me for 5 minutes? I just need to go and make a phone call, or I just need to go back to my car and get my wallet, or whatever it is. Just to buy yourself 5 minutes, and then walk off to the corner of the field and look it up on your phone. But buying yourself some time to look up a high value item, or an item you've never seen before or you're not sure of, is a great way to avoid making bad buying choices, if you like. We all have smartphones these days, so make it work for you, and look up items while you're at the boot sale. Another one is what I tend to do at a car boot sale. I will get in as early as possible, and I will whiz round, and I will find all of the obvious stuff that the other dealers would grab if I didn't grab it quick. And I would do a circuit, and then perhaps go back to the car, and then come back out again, and go back to the same stalls and have a more thorough look. Look through things in more detail, look things up on your phone, look through those boxes underneath the stall where people chuck their stuff. Because like I was saying before, people don't understand what they've got, and that's how we are able to make money out of them, because people don't understand the value of what they've got. So they often throw things into cardboard boxes that we know has a good collectible value or good resale value. So it's worth rummaging through these kind of junk boxes that people dismiss and throw underneath the stall. I found some amazing deal in those. And yeah, go round for a second time. Unless there's another car boot sale somewhere that's just starting up that you need to get through to put yourself in front of as many stalls as early as possible, then stay at this car boot sale and keep going round. And if you can stay at a car boot sale till the end, do so, because I've had some amazing deals at the end of car boot sales that have taught me about new products. I've heard people say at the end of car boot sales, they'll say, right, come on then kids, if there's nothing here that you particularly want to keep, we're going to put it all in these boxes and we're going to take it to the charity shop. I've even heard people say, right, the dump is on the other side of town, we're going to box all of this up now unless there's anything you want, and we'll take it to the dump. And I've heard people say that, and you know at that point they're going to accept any offer you make. And that's when at the end of car boot sales you can make people silly offers and you can experiment with stuff. I found out about whole new markets by experimenting with random stuff that people are virtually giving away at the end of car boot sales. And I've taken chances on, you know, boxes full of magazines, boxes full of books, and found out a lot of items that do make money just because I've happened to take a chance on buying up some stuff cheap at the end of a car boot sale. So like I say, unless there's another car boot sale that you can drive off to that's just starting up or has got stalls that obviously you haven't been round, just stay until the end and you can get some amazing deals at the end. Yeah, another tip is, you'll have seen this if you've seen my video, the top 10 tools for a reseller, is get yourself a big trolley. Seriously, it makes it so much easier to stay out for longer and not have to keep going back to the car to offload your stuff. It frees up your hands because you don't have to be carrying bags. So get a huge, like, granny trolley. That's what I take, and it was a game changer for me, and enabled me to pick up a lot more stuff without having to go back to the car, and it saves your arms from carrying. So yeah, I did write down, let me see if I wrote down anything else. I think that's it really. So yeah, I mean, car boot sales are amazing places for a reseller to go to find stuff. Like I say, mainly because they attract people who are in the mindset of getting rid of stuff. And these same people, on the whole, don't know the true resale value of a lot of the stuff they've got. So that's a perfect combination for us as resellers to get in there and kind of take advantage of that situation, really. So there you go. Just a quick one. I hope there was some useful hints and tips in there. I'm sure I probably missed some stuff out, but anyway, there you go. So be sure to check out my Facebook page and my website. I'll put the links in below. Please give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed it. If you've not watched me before, my name's Nick and I'm a full-time eBay reseller. This is what I do to earn a living, and I just come on YouTube and share exactly what I do and how I do it, in the hope that it inspires a few people to give this a go. So thanks for watching. Please give it a thumbs up and I'll see you soon. Bye for now.